Rocky Mound. Moves it, baby! Let's play!
Mariners baseball on Root Sports by the Bay as we wrap up this very brief two-game set inside the Oakland Coliseum. They're filing in as the Mariners and the A's play game two. The Mariners a chance for the quick two-game sweep of the last place Oakland Athletics. As we bring you inside the ballpark, we take a look at the Mariners starting lineups, Mike.
And the Mariners fourth in the American League in runs scored. They've really been swinging the bats well, and it starts with Nelson Cruz, the cleanup hitter and DH today. 2 hits last night, including his 85th RBI. That leads the American League. Ben Gamel, a couple of hits, including a double and 2 RBIs for him. He will hit 6th in the lineup, and Leonis Martin will round out the 9, the go-ahead home run in the 10th inning in last night's game. Take a look at Cotton. 16 starts on the year, 5-8 record, high ERA, 5.48 ERA, and 85 and a 30, has 74 strikeouts, 38 walks on the season for Cotton. Good fastball at 93 miles an hour. Cutter, changeup to go. And we'll take a look at the defense. They've really struggled this year. Jacob Brugman will be in center field. Jed Lowry at second base. Bruce Maxwell will do the catching. All of them getting their first start in the series.
First pitch. With the first pitch strike from Cotton. Segura batting .309 entering today. Now for Cotton, making his 3rd start since coming off the disabled list. He's been knocked around a little bit those last 2 starts. 8 earned runs in total his last 2 times out. But his 1 start earlier this year against the Mariners in April was very good. 2 runs over 6.
Yeah, the Mariners with just 6 hits, a couple of walks in that outing. They did have a home run against him. Robinson Cano, 3 hits, 2 of them home runs. For Cotton, again, his fastball at 93 miles an hour. Cutter, changeup. He will mix in a curveball occasionally.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Segura.
See the highlights from last night's ball game. Ben Gamel again, a good evening for him. 2-run double, and Leonis Martin, the home run in the 10th. Is the difference.
Soft flare into right field, dunks in for a base hit. Segura gets things going with a single into right.
We talked about it. Pretty good hitting right here. This pitch down out of the strike zone. Looks like a little changeup. But he stays with it just below the knees and dumps it into right field for a base hit. So a good start for the Mariners.
Yonder Alonso gets a nice round of applause here inside the Coliseum. Last night making his Mariners debut, coming up with his first hit in a Mariners uniform, an infield single. Working with Segura at first. Go back to last night for the Mariners and that come from behind win. How good the bullpen was, and then you look for a moment inside of Bob Melvin's bullpen. He used every reliever that he had. You think about the trade that Billy Beane made with the Nationals before the All-Star break. Sean Doolittle going to DC, Ryan Matson as well, and the Mariners able to take advantage of an A's bullpen that is not nearly the same now as it was a month ago.
That's something that we talked about, Aaron, in last night's ballgame when the Mariners fell behind. That you just have to kind of hang in there because they have some issues in their bullpen. It's not as strong as it was earlier this year, although they have some quality arms out there. Defensively, they've been the worst in the American League. Pop up out to short.
There's that number 1. Simeon handles it.
But I think for them, 95 errors on the year, the most by quite a bit. The Mariners able to take advantage of that last night. They made 3 errors in last night's ball game. A couple of those errors came around to score for the Mariners, so they just needed to stay in there, and they were able to hang in there long enough. And again, I can't say enough about the job by the bullpen. Tremendous job by the bullpen.
Here comes Cano with 1 out and 1 on. Entering last night, the Mariners had lost 44 of 46 games when trailing after 7 innings. Able to get a rare win in that situation last night in Game 1. Strike 1 to Cano. And one of the only blemishes on the line for Cotton the last time he saw the Mariners in April was a first inning home run to Cano. Segura with 15 steals on the season, keeping an eye on him.
The Mariners are 4th in the American League in stolen bases.
The 0-1. A weak wave at it, 0-2. And the Mariners coming today with the best record in the league since the All-Star break, and the Mariners right now sharing a spot for that second wild card. Getting a little crowded all of a sudden. The Royals, the Mariners, and the Rays. All 2.5 games behind the Yankees, who are the top wild card team right now. Crack to center. One hops to Bregman. Couple of base hits off of Cotton. Segura into second base, Cano at first. Well, talking about that logjam in the American League wildcard standings. Mariners splitting a 4-game series in Kansas City before coming here to Oakland. The Mariners will see Tampa Bay the next road trip. It'll start in St. Pete. And then the Orioles not far back, just a game and a half. Mariners will see the Orioles on the homestand after the Angels come to town for 4. Part of a big Edgar weekend.
It's interesting the way things have aligned this year. You mentioned Baltimore coming to town. Mariners will make a trip there also. But then you also have the Angels coming in for 4, and the Angels have been playing much better. They're right in the mix also.
2 games behind.
An important homestand for the Mariners. Starting off with the 4 with the Angels starting tomorrow night.
Cruz pops up the first pitch, foul ground. Olsen, who came off the bench late last night to play first, gets to start there today. And there's out number 2.
Baltimore at the Angels. They're just underway. They're also in the first inning.
Mike, are you saying that there are some meaningful games coming down the
There
pike
are.
for the Mariners?
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and especially with the way that they're playing right now. You mentioned the best record since the All-Star break. They've really played well. They continue to have to deal with injuries. We talked about it yesterday with Phelps going on the DL out of their bullpen. He's been an important part. Of course, Felix going to be out. Sounds like 3 to 4 weeks. That hurts. But they continue to play good baseball, which is good to see. Had overcome a lot this year.
2-1-2 out for Seager. An early look at our Mattress Firm Mariners calendar, talking about what's coming up for the Mariners. The only homestand in the month for the Mariners coming up starting tomorrow night at your weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then you can see the road trip beginning in Tampa Bay for 3, then some interleague play in Atlanta. A day off, then weekend series in New York. And after the Yankees series finishing up in Camden Yards. A ball and a strike now to Seager. He's got Cano at first base and Segura at second. Now the Mariners never led in last night's game until the 10th. Chance to take a lead early here in the first.
Cotton using his changeup here in the first inning. Changeup has been one of his better pitches. Opponent's hitting 246 off of his changeup. Well, the other things, Aaron, you and I have talked about it a lot too, looking at the schedule and looking at this month. You mentioned the 1 week that they're going to be home starting tomorrow and being on the road. They win this game today. The first part of that, first half of that, they have a chance to go 6-3.
That's a good point. This road trip began 21 of 28 on the road. Here comes the 1-2. Stays alive. We've talked before, Mike, about that feeling of coming to the ballpark when every game matters so much. Is that only a September thing, or can that start in early August as well?
No, I think these guys are in the middle of it right now, and I think it started with the schedule and then playing on the road so much. We saw it at the beginning of this back in Texas, and Scott Service had talked about it for the guys to embrace this road trip, knowing where they were at in the standings as far as the wild card goes, how important it was going to be, handing the T-shirts out.
Joyce having a look back. Joyce can do nothing about this 3-run shot by Kyle Seager. What a start for the Mariners. Seager, a 3-run blast, his 17th home run this season. Now the Mariners strike early against Darrell Cotton.
And a great start for the Mariners, which we want to see. You mentioned 17 home runs now for Kyle. 60 RBIs with the 3 RBIs on the home run. And we'll take a look at it. Middle away. Stayed away from him the entire at bat. That a little bit too much of the plate. Kyle barrels it up. So a great start for the Mariners. Some early run support for Gallardo.
Gamble on the first pitch. Had a couple of hits last night. Doesn't waste much time here in the first inning. 4 hits against Cotton here in the first.
We'll take another look at it. Changeup right out over the plate for him. That was the 3rd changeup in that at bat. Kyle timed it. For Cotton, 17 pitches, 14 strikes. The Mariners already with 4 hits and 3 runs on the board.
Center fielder, number 1, Dyson.
That brings Dyson up with Gamble at first base and 2 outs. I mentioned earlier the fine start by Cotton against the Mariners in April, but you look at his numbers overall this year against teams within the division. They have not been good. An ERA of 7.5 in 6 starts against the West. So imagine what those other 5 starts must have been like if you consider the quality start that he spun against the Mariners.
We look at Oakland overall, they are 11th in ERA in the American League. Cotton's ERA right around 5.5. With the way the Mariners have been swinging the bats lately, I like that matchup, and it's worked out well so far.
1 ball and 1 strike to Dyson.
Able to score 7 runs in last night's ball game.
There goes Gamble. He takes second base easily. A rare attempt by Gamble, his 4th this year, yet to be caught. Bruce Maxwell getting the start today behind home. Meanwhile, 2-1 on Dyson.
You look at the Mariners and young club, they have some guys that can really run. I think you push it when you're going up against a team like the A's. And last in fielding, they'll make some mistakes if you put some pressure on them. We saw that last night.
Lowry today at second base. Dyson is too fast. He's safe at first. Gamble into third.
We'll take a look at it. A little in between hop. Lowry gets rid of it quickly, but Dyson, that last long stride, I think, gets him in there. Doesn't appear that they're going to challenge it. He is safe. So that'll be an infield hit.
Catcher, number 52, Carlos Ruiz.
Pretty clear.
Yep, good call.
5 of the first 7 hitters with a base hit against Cotton, highlighted by the 3-run homer from Kyle Seager. Runners on the corners for Carlos Ruiz.
Mike Zunino getting the afternoon off. Mike caught last night's ball game. He went 1 for 3 and scored a run. But the veteran Ruiz will pick him up here this afternoon.
Look at most starts this year for Cotton. He has not been able to stretch out his roughly 100 pitches over much more than 6 innings, and he is about to throw his 24th pitch here in the first.
He's throwing a lot of strikes. 24 pitches now, 18 strikes for him. A number of them in the middle of the plate. The Mariners taking advantage of that.
For the Mariners, 3 straight hits with 2 outs, including Segura's homer. As time is called, Gamble aboard at third base. We've seen Dyson at first. They've picked over there. The 1-2. There goes Dyson, and that ends the top of the first. Mariners strand a couple, but one big swing from Kyle Seager. Now 60 RBIs on the year and 17 home runs. This one doing some pretty serious damage and giving the Mariners an early 3-0 lead. He picks up 3 in the first inning.
Leading off for the Athletics.
Big time 3-run blast out to right field, and he has given the Mariners an early 3-0 lead as we take a look at the lineup as written down by Bob Melvin.
The A's are 14th in the American League in hitting, 6th in home runs, and hit a couple of home runs in last night's ball game. Matt Joyce will lead off, and he was hitting 8th last night, but moves up to the leadoff spot today. Chris Davis, a home run, 30 home runs on the year for him. He had 4 RBIs in last night's ball game, and right behind him, Ryan Healy, the DH today, hit his 21st home run. For Gallardo, this will be his 18th start. 5-7, a 5.35 ERA, and 102 2/3. He has 73 strikeouts, 45 walks on the year. And I'll look at the defense for the Mariners. Gerard Dyson, 10 assists in center field. That leads the American League. Yonder Alonso getting his 2nd start at first base for the Mariners, coming over from the A's. And Carlos Ruiz will do the catching this afternoon.
We saw Joyce at the bottom of the order in last night's game. Joyce leading off today. We've seen that before this year. Not a huge on base guy, but a left-handed bat facing Gallardo.
And the Mariners have the shift on right away, start the game off, and something that we saw in Kansas City with this alignment. You see Cano out on the grass. They had to change it up. Robbie, a little bit of an issue with his leg, so they had Segura in that spot, and Robbie was playing up the middle, but back to their usual alignment. So he must be feeling better.
Smoked out to center field. This is a big-time charge. Dyson can do nothing about it. 15th home run this year for Matt Joyce. And the A's get a run right back. 3-1 Mariners.
Well, for Giovanni, Ball's behind 2-0. Comes back with a fastball. It's on the outside corner, but it's belt high. And Matt Joyce, an aggressive hitter. The A's are aggressive in general. They're going to try to get after the fastball early in counts. And ends up hitting the ball out of the ballpark, his 15th.
Strike one to Marcus Semien.
And that's how they do their scoring. Again, 14th in hitting, but 6th in home runs. A couple of home runs in last night's game. Davis and Healy.
Breaks his bat up the middle. Cano curls over, long throw, and Alonso on the other end to clean it up. Nice job there. Semien is out, number 1.
And Robbie likes it. Why not? There aren't many second basemen that can make the play quite like the way he just made that last one. And it's because of his arm strength. He has a great arm.
We don't normally get to see Robbie show it off from quite that distance.
He was over in the shortstop position. Back out on the grass again.
Now Jed Lowry leading the A's with 32 doubles. You can see his season total numbers. Looks at a first pitch curve for a strike. Oh, 2. Segura, a pitch before, was in on the grass, now back near the grass in left field. For Gallardo, his last time out on this road trip, 3 runs over 5 innings at Kauffman Stadium against the Royals. For his career entering this season, had a really tough time against Oakland. An ERA well over 5, but this year 4 earned runs over 17 innings. Much better this season against Oakland.
And you saw him missing with a couple of fastballs up out of the strike zone. That's by design for him. He's trying to pitch at the top of the zone. Those 2 fastballs a little bit too high.
Count rushes full to Lowry. Gallardo probably not interested to put him on base with this man on deck. Davis hitting his 30th home run of the season in last night's game. And that is what happens, a 1-out walk. Now the walk to strikeout numbers have been a problem this year for Gallardo. 1-out walk here for Lowry. Now brings up Davis. Right away, the A's bring the tie-in run to the plate. Strike 1 on a check swing. Davis entered this series leading the majors in strikeouts. But you can see since the beginning of last season has hit more home runs than anyone. Nelson Cruz right behind him.
Another look at the high fastball at 92 miles an hour. Gallardo's had a good fastball this year. It's typically 92 to 94 in that range. The high fastball just a little bit too high. He's trying to get it more towards the top of the zone, not out of the zone.
Dyson measures this up onto the track. Dyson's got a play and he makes the catch. Not this time, Chris Davis. That'll send Lowry back to first. 2 outs.
Well, he had him out in front of the pitch just enough. Basically hit it all arms, 400 feet out to center field as Dyson catches it right in front of the fence.
Allowed out number 2 now facing Ryan Healy, a guy with some pretty serious pop of his own. His 21st home run coming last night. Boards in a strike. I mentioned the fastball velo for Gallardo. It's been a frustrating season for Giovanni. The stuff has most certainly been there. No question about it. We saw him demoted to the bullpen, pitch very well in long relief, earning a spot back in the rotation. Now trying to have a strong finish to the season over the final 2 months. 2+ months since the time he came back into the rotation for the Mariners. And there's no doubt that the Mariners need him. They need this rotation to more regularly pitch deeper in games.
Well, I think for him, again, I thought this is a good matchup for him when you look at the A's. A young club, a young lineup. He's the veteran guy, and he's already shown the ability a couple of different times throwing his breaking ball early, leading the hitters off to get a first pitch strike, which is a big key because then you should be able to expand the zone. This gets away from Ruiz, and Lowry will move up. That will be a wild pitch. Fell behind the first hitter, giving up the solo home run, but since then been ahead. Ended up losing Lowry after being ahead. 17 pitches, 9 strikes for him so far here in the first. But as he starts to settle in, I think that high fastball, if he can get it to the top of the zone and not up out of the strike zone, which is what he's trying to do right now, I think he'll be in pretty good shape because I like his breaking ball today.
Two outs. Lowry now in scoring position. Tying run at the plate. Healy. Ruiz able to keep this one in front of him. 2-2. Gallardo wanting Ruiz to go over things again. Runner at second. Soft chopper. Segura charging. Lip of the grass in time to first. Healy retired, as are the A's. Matt Joyce, a leadoff home run. We go to the second. Mariners on top. is brought to you by your local Ford stores. By Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at Safeco.com. Do more. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting R&B legend Charlie Wilson, September 8th. Tickets at EmeraldQueen.com. Sunday baseball by the Bay as the Mariners are staked to an early 3-1 lead. Both starters having to throw their fair share of pitches in the first. Gallardo 19, Cotton 25. Faced 8 batters. The first facing the number 9 man Martin, who had the go-ahead home run last night of the 10th. I think to a man, Mike, anybody who has been around Martin this year when he was optioned down or sent down to Tacoma after being DFA'd, everybody has had pretty glowing reports on Martin and his attitude going down there. Not only the numbers that he put up, but obviously just his attitude after being a mainstay in the major leagues and then going down to the minor leagues after a disappointing start to the season. It's saying a lot about a guy who's used to being in the big leagues.
It's not an easy thing to deal with, and I think that you mentioned his numbers, and you can look at them. They're really good, including the stolen bases. And if you're going to steal bases in the minor leagues after you've been in the big leagues for a period of time, I think that speaks to his effort and his want to put up numbers so that he could get back here. So, you know, to me, I give him a lot of credit. And he's played well since being back with the club.
Strike one to Segura.
Segura with a base hit his first time up on a changeup, hit it into right field.
Needless to say, there's a certain fun factor that Martin brings.
Yes.
To the clubhouse, brings to the dugout. Oh, one is popped up, foul ground. Olsen puts it away, 2 down.
Would you say that the volume typically goes up when Martin walks in the room?
Was it last spring training that you heard him before you saw him to begin camp, or was that this year?
I think that was this year, yes.
You had a year to get used to it at that point.
Yeah.
Well, for all the struggles.
I just opened the door to the complex, and the Mariners clubhouse is all the way on the other end.
It's a hike.
Yeah, and I could hear him. He was having a good time, which I was happy to hear.
Strike one to Alonso. And we said it before, with that epic comeback last year in San Diego, Martin was on the disabled list. Scott Service gives credit to that win to Martin, a man who was not even active because of his role on the bench. Now 25 pitches in the first for Cotton. Let's see, 6 here in the second inning. 1, 2, 3. Mariners are tired. Point of the Aviators are maybe in the carry-on bag already.
Maybe. Going with the Nikes today.
That's right.
Yeah.
Matt Olson leads off the bottom of the second. Mariners on top by a couple.
Olson came into the game last night as a defensive replacement, picked up a base hit late.
Just recently recalled from AAA. The 1-1 makes it 1-2. And the series began for the Mariners in Arlington. They took 2 games out of 3 against the Rangers. Went on to Kansas City, a team that has been one of the best in the majors ever since April. Mariners able to split against Kansas City. Split the series, split the doubleheader on Sunday. Come from behind win last night in game 1. And we're a 2-game series here against the A's in Oakland. And then it's back home for the only 7 home games in the month of August for the Mariners. Off the mound and into center field. Leadoff single for Olson. We'll take a look now at today's T-Mobile Unlimited baseball break. We hone in on most consecutive games with at least a double. This is active streaks in the majors. And the Mariners leading the pace with 22. The Blue Jays a distant second. Mariners looking for their first double today to keep that streak going, but they do have a 3-run homer from Kyle Seager. First pitch, Canna pops it up. Chapman, pardon me. And it's 0-1. Now for the A's, 2 innings, 2 leadoff men reaching. Joyce, who was the home run to begin the first. Go back and think about Giovanni Gallardo during his National League days. He's the all-time strikeout leader in Brewers history, and really was a very good hitter. Still is, but obviously doesn't get to show that off, that skill set off quite as much. But Giovanni is the answer to a very obscure trivia question, Mike. He is the only pitcher to ever hit a home run off of Randy Johnson. I don't think Randy took that one particularly well.
Probably not. That's impressive, though.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's very impressive.
First strikeout on the day. First out here in the bottom of the second.
And goes to the off-speed pitch. Look at a good curveball. That's one of the things you talked about him. Strikeout record for the Brewers, and at one point, a number of years, he was their ace, #1. And you look at his overall stuff this year, I think it's been just fine. His fastball at 92, 94 certainly plays. He can sink it at times. Slider, curve, changeup to go with it.
Catcher Bruce Maxwell looking at ball 1. Ruiz wants an appeal. He does not go.
And because he's been there and he's gone through that as a veteran guy, you think that there maybe is a run for him here for the Mariners, which they can certainly use. You talked about it. They need some starters to get deep into games. Somebody outside of James, especially now that Felix went on the DL again. And I think Gallardo can be one of those guys for him. Done overall command for him. And I say that just because he's done it and his stuff is there.
Falls behind 3-0. One out, one on. That's Olson with a leadoff single. The 3-1. After a 3-0 count, now 3-2.
It appears that he's starting to dial in that high strike. Back-to-back pitches right at the top of the zone.
Brugman, the center fielder, number 9 hitter on deck. Gallardo last year in Baltimore. Before that was in Texas. Was a little bit of a homecoming for Giovanni. Born in Mexico, but went to high school in Fort Worth. So pitching a season not too far from home. Pitch number 7 to Maxwell. And his center, Dyson, closing on it, makes the catch. 2 outs. This season, former and current members of the U.S. Armed Forces are able to take advantage of the EQC military discount. With the military ID, you'll receive 10% off select seats at nearly every home game. Tickets are available only at the Safeco Field box office. Look at Mount Davis as we play with 2 outs and Olson at first base. Here is Brugman, the center fielder. Mike, there was a time where Mount Davis was not here. You remember those times. Can you paint the picture of what this place looked like before the Titanic was out in center?
It looked much different. It was actually, I thought, a pretty ballpark at that point. And all the flowers out there and the ice plant, and you can see down into the valley. Really nice here. Now you look at what appears to be a ship.
Slightly obscured view.
Yeah.
If you have a good camera lens, you can still take in part of that view. Two 2-0. We saw Nelson, it was a year, maybe 2 years ago, go off of Mount Davis out to center field up above the batter's eye. Pretty rare feat.
I don't think that I've ever seen anybody do it outside of that. Talked about it in batting practice yesterday. Hit one through one of the open windows out there. And you can see some folks enjoying the game.
With 2 outs, a 4-pitch walk. You can see close on a number of those pitches, but not strikes. Number 9 hitter taking first base and pushes Olson into second.
And Mel Stottlemyre Jr. on his way out to the mound. For Gallardo, 40 pitches, just 20 strikes, so the splits aren't what you want to see. Aaron mentioned pitching off the edges of the plate. Couple of walks for him so far in the game. One in the first, now one here in the second with a couple of outs. O'Mel just going to try to get him dialed into the strike zone.
Now 19 pitches in the first, 21 here in the second for Garrido. Tying run is at first, and the go-ahead, Matt Joyce. Joyce a home run in the first inning. That was his third leadoff home run this season. After 4-pitch walk, first pitch strike to Joyce. One and one. Garrido behind, 2-1. Looks like Raleigh Fingers is just
taking a nap,
taking in some of this. Well, not quite sunny today, but Ricky looks to be more attent.
Enjoying his seat.
Pop up to end the inning. Seager is there, and 2 men are left to lengthy bottom of the second, but no damage done except for the pitch count. We go to the third. Everybody's stretching out. Lead off the third. All 3 runs coming on one swing so far today from the Mariners. That was the 17th home run this season from Kyle Seager. He'll bat third this inning. Now the first pitch, another base hit for Cano off of Cotton.
Good start for the Mariners. Middle of the lineup, due up. Robbie's second base hit for Cotton. 25 pitches in the first. Comes back with 7 in the second. And Robbie being aggressive, slow curveball. Squares it up. They'll bring up Nelson. Nelson popped out to first his first time up on the slow curveball.
Couple of Cadillacs.
I would say so, yeah. And it is called the boomstick. So Nelson taking the opportunity to get a picture.
3-0. And I'm not sure what the kind of plan of attack is for the Rangers, but every once in a while, pregame, we look out of the field and they are driving the boomstick around the warning track. They're making laps with it. Still running.
Still running.
But they keep it in the service way, the hallway outside the visiting clubhouse.
I believe the one they sell in the ballpark is what is it, $28? I think.
Yeah, I think it's up to 28 now. I tried.
It was impressive watching you eat that whole thing when you were there. By the way,
tried.
Good work.
I tried looking up, and I could not readily find any caloric information about it. And it almost seems as though they're hiding that. Absolutely destroyed. Nelson Cruz, they're never cheap, are they? Crushed. Number 25 is a 2-run shot, and the Mariners now have taken a 5-1 lead.
And Nelson continues to add to his RBI total. He has now hit 9 of his last 10 games. That's his 5th home run and 12 RBIs over the 10 games. And that was loud. Second run scored for Cano, but here you go, 3-1 count, middle in. That is squared up. Second home run for the Mariners. The first one, Kyle Segura, a 3-run home run in the first.
And here is Seager. We've talked about this off the air before, Mike, with Cruz, because well, Nelly's a strong man, but there are plenty of strong guys in this game. There's got to be something to Cruz. You look at his equation for how he's able to hit so many home runs and so many just eye-popping home runs, and we see each and every year. But it's this rare combination of this superhuman strength and, as you just mentioned, this ability just to square the ball up regularly.
450 feet exit velo at 115.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Don't give me this 101 business. 115. That's the big leagues right there.
Well, you know, it's interesting with Nelson. It took him a few years to figure it all out. Obviously, he's been as consistent as anybody. When you look at 40 home runs and everything he's been able to do, as Kyle hits over to the first baseman, Olsen will take it by himself. There's always been a number of adjustments made over the years and a lot of work, a lot of time spent in the weight room, a lot of time in the cages figuring out his swing. But right now, about as good as anybody as far as power hitters go. And he's just a good hitter in general. I mean, we talk about the 40 home runs all the time. This is a guy that hits between 280 and 300.
Gamble again going after the first pitch. Opposite way to Davis. 2 outs. That's the thing with Cruz. If he was a guy who was hitting with his average with 25 home runs on the season, like let's say that he hit 290 with 25 bombs, that in and of itself would be a guy you'd want on your team, let alone somebody who's doing that with 40.
Right.
Two outs, 2 runs in.
Dyson with an infield hit his first time up. He's picked up 5 base hits in the first inning. I have 7 for the ball game.
One and one. They'll appeal. Dyson does not go. So all 5 runs for the Mariners today coming on 2 homers, Seager and Cruz. You and I often have the debate as to which Nelson home run is our favorite or the top 5, and it's kind of looking at the scorecard, Mike. I think we need to bring Robinson Cano in on this conversation because Robbie is oftentimes on base And as we know, most of the time when the ball comes off the bat for Nelly, you know that that's a home run. So I think Robbie can afford the luxury of staring a little bit. This is slashed foul.
Or maybe even Kyle. He's always standing on the deck watching it.
That's another good one. And to bring them into the fold in this debate. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
That being said, do you have a favorite?
Now, the one that always comes back to me was at Dodger Stadium a couple of years ago when he went the opposite way. It was just destroyed. But there's just something about the strength that he has going out to right field. The train track one is tough to surrender as one of the best. The one in Kansas City, his most recent home run until today, was just a joke. What about you?
Well, the one we talked about earlier where he hit it
that one too.
Over the batter's eye here. But maybe the one that he hit into the restaurant in Minnesota. At center field.
That was I believe that was the second longest home run of the season in the majors. Chapman is there for out number 3. Well, you can understand, folks, it is not an easy debate. There are no wrong answers. Maybe this one joins the list. 115 miles an hour off the bat. 450 feet later, Mariners lead at 5-1. Thank you, Angie. First pitch is strike to Marcus Semien to begin the bottom of the 3rd. Mariners now leading 5-1 thanks to the home run from Nelson Cruz. Now for Gallardo, the second was an adventure. 25 pitches. Facing 5 batters, was able to strand a couple. One and 2. Now, Sonny Gray is not someone that the Mariners will have to worry about facing here in Oakland anymore. We talked about the back end of the bullpen. Doolittle and Madsen being dealt to the Nationals. Sonny Gray now with the Yankees. That was a big move at the deadline. Mariners very well may have to face him, though, in the Bronx over that 3-game weekend series.
As things typically work out, I would say that would probably be the case.
Again, the 1-2. Look at this game already. All the runs combined coming on 3 homers. The A's lone run coming off the bat of Matt Joyce. And Mike, today, long before first pitch, we were, for a variety of reasons, looking at Mark Mulder's career numbers, the former A's pitcher, and he had obviously some really good years, a 2-time All-Star with Oakland. And we were marveling that one of his seasons he gave up a mere 19 home runs, which in today's era, 19 home runs might be your total before the All-Star break.
Well, it gives you an idea when you talk about that in today's game and the amount of home runs that have been hit. You mentioned Mulder. It's a very good season in today's standards.
Gets to Seager quickly. He handles it smoothly, and there he's out number 1.
But it had me thinking about it, and when you consider Paxton and what he has done this year and the amount of home runs that he has not given up.
Right, the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, just 5 home runs on the year for him.
And it all came in 1 month, whatever that tells you.
In a year when they're setting records for home runs. And you're right, all of them. He gave up a home run in 5 straight games or something like that. Nothing since.
1 out, nobody on for Jed Lowry. On the first pitch, out towards right center. Martin, there plenty of time.
James will be pitching tomorrow at Safeco Field against the Angels tomorrow night.
That'll be a good one to get back home to. MLB.com @bat is your #1 mobile app for live Mariners baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Mariners home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast news, and more. You can download MLB.com @bat today.
Oh, Chris Davis stepping in, just missed a home run his first time up. Took Dyson up against the fence in center field. Of course, he had a home run yesterday, his 30th home run in last night's ball game. Drove in 4 runs, a 3-run home run, and then drove in a run with a triple.
Like a little cowbell right now, trying to pick up the pace out there. Socked out to center. Dyson turning and gone. So the tally now for Chris Davis this year: 4 hits against the Mariners, a triple, and 3 home runs. Making 4 home runs and a triple.
Well, up, out over the plate, with cutter it looked like.
Two outs for Healy. How about this StatCast note for Nelson Cruz? Hardest home run he's recorded, 115 miles an hour off the bat. It did not take long to get out.
No, it did not.
Getting back to that home run for Davis, Mike, came on the second pitch. The first pitch from Gallardo, you were talking about the high fastball. It was right up at the top of the zone. It was a strike even if he had not swung. The second pitch that he homered on slightly lower. Is there much of a difference there?
Maybe not on that necessarily. Maybe a little bit more than what we actually saw. Might have been a situation, though, after the first strike that he was able to get on that area. He started looking up. But I think what we've seen from Chris Davis is he's going to be a free swinger. He has power to all fields. We saw that his home run was to right field right down the line in yesterday's ball game. We've seen him go out to center field a few times against the Mariners.
Unless you are pitching at the top of the zone with James Paxton 96, 97, I mean, it's a fine line, isn't it?
It really is, and I think it's one of the things that I marveled at over the years with Iwakuma, because that's one of the things that he did so well, was pitch at the top of the strike zone. You're talking about 87 miles an hour. Not many pitchers can get away with that, but again, over the course of the game, you see how many times he would try to hit the top of the strike zone. And you see that line going across it on the tracer, and it was typically right on that line all the time. It was really unbelievable how often, how consistent he was at that. You just don't see many pitchers that have the ability to do it. And unless you have the big velocity, you're right, the margins for error is pretty slim. Unless you can really mix it up.
Dyson curls over to make the catch, out number 3. Davis homers in back-to-back games. We've completed 3. The Mariners still on top, 5-2. Sports is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Honda. Hurry in to the Honda Celebration sales event today. Good look at Coit Tower, 210 feet tall, right by the bay. A couple of home runs for the A's. Solo shots, Joyce and Davis. The Mariners with 2 home runs of their own. And the good news for the Mariners, each coming with men aboard. Ruiz out to center field. All the way back to the track, but Brugman is there. Had to run a long ways for it. 1 pitch and 1 out. Now forget the desk chair and pull up a seat at Safeco Field on Wednesday, August 16th, when the Mariners host the Orioles for a special 12:40 afternoon matinee. Get ready to enjoy midweek Mariners baseball under the summer sun by picking up your tickets now at mariners.com. One quick out for Martin. Struck out back in the second. Lowry at second base into shallow right with 2 hands to make the catch. So 3 pitches and 2 outs for Cotton here in the 4th. I'll take a look at our CenturyLink What's Next. Mariners are coming back home tomorrow, starting a big 4-game series against the Angels, an Edgar weekend. James Paxton going up against Tyler Skaggs, who has struggled to stay healthy the last couple of seasons. We cannot wait to see James tomorrow, Mike.
Oh, he's been terrific, going for his 8th win in a row. 13th win on the season. Really pitched well. Tyler Skaggs, talented left-handed pitcher. You mentioned injured this year. Curious to see where he's at. And the Mariners will try to attack him. James, of course, missed some time earlier this year, but starting to see his name when they start talking about Cy Young awards. And,
have to.
Yep, his name's on the list now. Short list for it. Wins on the season. I think Chris Sale picked up his 14th yesterday.
Yes,
it was his 14th. ERA at 2.57, I think.
Kluber, the other guy who's got his name in that race, and you look at his numbers. Kluber, that is, stacked next to Sale, and Kluber missed some time. Corey Kluber's had a fantastic season as well. Inside 2-2.
Segura 1 for 2, had a base hit and scored a run in the first inning. Base hit to right field.
Very close pitch that time. Little ball, 3, full count to Segura. Trying to keep this inning alive for Yonder Alonso. Seager with a 3-run homer in the first, then Cruz a 2-run shot in the third. Two out, a walk to Segura. Doesn't often draw ball 4, but does so here. And brings up Yonder Alonso.
Yonder Alonso.
Alonso, an all-star this year for the first time in his career, and just recently traded by the A's to the Mariners in exchange for Boog Powell. There goes Segura. Throw down to second base. He is safe. Steal number 16 for Gene Segura.
Well, we thought that the Mariners would be aggressive on the bases again today. They certainly were last night. You take a look at the dive by Segura. Yeah, it looks as if he was able to get his hand in there. He came off the base, but shortstop Simeon did not stay with the tag. And it doesn't look like they're going to challenge it, so that will be a stolen base. Segura dealing with a couple of different injuries this year, and you have to wonder how many stolen bases he would have right now if he'd been healthy all season long.
He's starting to close in on 20. Down the left field line, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to Alonso.
Mariners 2 for 4 so far this afternoon with runners in scoring position.
For the A's, you look at, you have to go back too far. 2014, they had 7 All-Stars on this team, and Alonso keeping a trend alive. 11 of the last 14 All-Stars for the Oakland Athletics were traded within a year of becoming an All-Star, and for Alonso, it was in about a month. the right field line, but hooked foul.
Listen to you say that, Aaron. It's amazing how difficult that must be for the fans that come out to support them.
And Billy Beane was pretty outspoken around the time of the deadline, expressing his frustration with not being able to retain players, being in a position where needing to sell, and stars that they were cultivating needing to trade for business purposes, and the fact that he is hoping that that can change. We saw what they were able to do in 2014, getting to the wild card game, losing that in Kansas City. You look at that 2014 team with 7 All-Stars. All of them were traded within a year except for Doolittle, just recently traded to the Nationals. You know, they used to tarp section 334 and everything else up there, but this year the tarp's coming down.
Wow.
There are other seats available. Maybe there's something sentimental up there.
Pretty good view of the valley from up there.
Another foul ball. Alonso looking for his first hit today, 0 for 2. He's fouled off 5 straight pitches. And the dirt evens it up, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I've forgotten he had to throw 25 pitches in the first. Seemed as if he had settled down, but having to throw a lot of pitches again here in the 4th inning.
Now that 7-pitch second really saved him. The 2-2. Full count. Next pitch will be number 9. Cano waiting his turn on deck. Robbie 2 for 2 against Cotton. Would love to have a chance with some men on. Here comes the 9th pitch to Alonso. We will see a 10th.
Season average runners in scoring position going back up again for the Mariners, 268. Mentioned it earlier, 2 for 4 this afternoon. Struggled early in the game last night, but eventually they were 5 for 15, created a lot of opportunities late.
And now Maxwell wants to talk it over. Now, Cotton threw 3 pitches to get the first 2 outs. That was about 10 minutes ago. Since then, the walk to Segura. And now the 10th pitch coming here to Alonso.
It'll be the 20th pitch in the inning and 70th overall.
Here comes pitch number 10.
That was off the knob of the bat, I think.
I think you're right.
.77 miles an hour, top of the strike zone, inside corner. There's another look at it. We'll see where it hits. A changeup. Yep, right off the knob of the bat.
.11 pitches to get Alonso. That'll do it in the top of the 4th. We go to the home half. Mariners on top 5-2. Echo this date in big league history. We take you back to the year 2010 when the Mariners turned the 10th triple play in franchise history. 5-4-3 triple play in a win against these Oakland A's. First time triple play was turned for the Mariners since mid-July of 1995. Matt Olson leads off the home fourth. First pitch poured in for a strike. As we go back to the Ford Sports Desk, we bring in Ryan Rowland-Smith. Ryan, you've had a chance to watch Gallardo for 3 innings. What have you made of him so far today? We were talking earlier, Ryan, about the absence of Felix out 3 to 4 weeks with bursitis in his shoulder and the opportunity that is in front of Giovanni Gallardo, and whether or not that this can be the time where 2 months or so.
Ryan, this is something that I know that you did in your career too, but when you go to the bullpen, then you come back out and all of a sudden you're in the rotation. You just talked a little bit about it, but why is it such a difference when you talk about having to get through the line at the second and third time? Because it seems like going to the bullpen, I know maybe you're a little more aggressive because you're not going to have to get as deep, but what is the biggest difference?
Brian. Thank you very much. We'll catch up with you once again. Mariners postgame presented by Alaska Airlines. Saw a shot there of Erasmo Ramirez. Is looking to do the same thing. Guy who spent some time in the bullpen for the Rays this year, also some time in the rotation, but mostly as reliever. Now in the Mariners rotation. We will see Erasmo Saturday night against Ricky Nolasco of the Angels. That'll be a very special night at Safeco Field. Edgar's number 11 being retired pregame. Segura can't get there. See a nice single there from Chapman with 1 out. Now going to the game, it's a quick and easy trip on the Sounder train, Link Light Rail, and then ST Express buses. You can plan your trip at soundtransit.org. And by the way, speaking of that Saturday night contest against the Angels, goes without saying, but to say it anyway, arrive early. Pregame ceremony beginning at about 5:30. First pitch time at 6:10, but you will want to make sure that you are there in your seat, of course.
It'll be a lot of fun at the ballpark. Fun. We're also going to have Edgar up in the booth. Get a chance to talk to Edgar. Ask him about his day. I'm sure he'll have a lot of fun with it.
One out and 1 on. We were looking up career slash numbers yesterday among Hall of Famers and looking at where Edgar ranks, and the numbers were pretty incredible when you consider the fact that you're talking the slash numbers, you're talking average on base and slugging. And for Edgar, a higher career batting average than Paul Molitor, a higher on base average in his career than Ricky Henderson, and a higher slugging percentage in his 18 seasons in the majors than Harmon Killebrew. You can decide which is the most impressive. But that is
300, 400, 500.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
1 and 2. One out, 1 on. Bottom of the 4th inning. You know, Mike, you talk to some guys who are retired and players who are of Hall of Fame caliber, whether they are in or not. And there are a lot of guys who are removed from the game who know their numbers, know their rankings like the back of their hand.
Right.
You know Edgar better than almost anybody. I have a feeling that for the most part, especially when you talk about those comparisons, I don't think Edgar particularly cares too much or knows as much of that detail as maybe some guys do. Am I right or wrong?
No, I don't think it's something that he gives a lot of thought to. I think he's aware of what those numbers are and where he probably stacks up overall. But when you start talking about better slugging than Harmon Killebrew and on base than Ricky Henderson, I don't think that he gives that a thought at all. But I just think that he's very aware of what he has done in his career. It's funny. I've probably mentioned it to him a couple of different times. It's not something that we talk about a lot, but I've mentioned it to him as far as the Hall of Fame goes. And obviously it's a tremendous honor and he would love to be in there, but he doesn't seem to me, and maybe it's just his overall personality, he doesn't get too excited about it one way or the other. I think he knows exactly what his career is about, and I'll say it for him. He certainly is deserving and should be there. Hopefully that'll happen for him. It was a nice jump up for him this past year.
You think about it, he's basically doubled his percentage of votes in the last couple of years. 2015, 27%. 2016, just over 43%. And this past year, nearly 59%. Chapman taken off again. What a stab by Alonso, who just slaps the bag at first. Now number 2.
And Bob Melvin, I don't think he thought that was a fair ball. Yep, there you go.
Not much of a conversation there. Take a look at our Big Fish Casino Big Catch.
Alonso holding the runner off, so he'll come off the bag, but then he has to go right back towards the line and makes the play. Looks like it's right on the line. So a good play. Keep it from going down into the corner. This will be the second out.
Ball on to Brugman. And a good listen for Mariners fans when you're talking about Edgar in the Hall of Fame. Joe Posnanski, who is one of the great writers who covers this game now with MLB.com. Joe runs a podcast. You can find it easily online. And his most recent guest, Jay Jaffe, who is one of the premier Hall of Fame writers, just came out with a book called the Cooperstown Casebook. And Jaffe actually has some Seattle connections. A former family member of his, I believe it was his uncle, actually worked in the Diamond Club years and years and years ago. So he's got some ties to the Northwest. And Posnanski asked Jaffe who his kind of pet project is to try to get into the Hall of Fame, and there was no hesitation. He right away said Edgar and began to rattle off so many of the numbers that we've become so familiar with. But the podcast, well worth a listen.
You know what's amazing to me about that is, obviously we travel all over the country and we see people all over the place. I've yet to run into somebody that was on the other side of it and said he didn't belong.
Yeah.
There. Well, it'll be a great weekend for him.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Chapman the single, moved into second base on the ground out by Maxwell. And I don't know what the exact number is, but if you look at Edgar in the next round of Hall of Fame voting, you mentioned he was at 58.6 this past year. If he can get up to that 65% range, you got to feel pretty good about that with 1 year remaining after that. Needs 75%, needs 3/4 of the vote. Keeping an eye at second base on Chapman.
Next pitch will be 84 for Gallardo, which is how many pitches he threw in his last outing. So the bullpen definitely going to get some work again today. Good news is they did have Monday off, so guys were well rested, and not sure anybody overworked in last night's ball game. What a year they're having, though. They are something. 5 shutout innings last night.
Now they have been the rock of this team for the most part this season. Jammed him, and a foul ball.
I think that if he gets up over 90 here in this inning, we end up seeing Pagan at some point. He did not pitch yesterday. Lawrence was first out of the bullpen yesterday. He looked really good, by the way. Another foul ball.
And Lawrence was fantastic. 2 scoreless innings to bridge things to Vincent, Zipchinski, and then Diaz. Next pitch will be number 27 this inning from Gallardo. And the 9th pitch to Brugman coming up. He gets him. That ends the bottom of the 4th. Mariners take the lead. They got the big boys coming up. Cano, Cruz, and Seager when we start the 5th. Thank you, Angie. Here is Cano to begin the top of the 5th. Facing Cotton. Mariners 5 runs on 2 homers. Segura and Cruz. Now the career numbers for Cano against Cotton. Now keep in mind Cotton a rookie, so hasn't seen him a ton, but the numbers very good, and they've continued to go in that direction today. 2 for 2. Swings through a curve to make it a ball and a strike.
Robbie did not get a hit in last night's game. Went with the high Sox today, and it worked. Switching things up, a couple of base hits.
One and 2.
Pretty good changeup.
Mariners now 4-3 on this road trip, spanning 3 cities in 10 days before coming back home tomorrow night. Seems like for whatever reason, more times than not this year, the Mariners have either started a series or started a homestand with James Paxton up on the mound. They'll do both tomorrow when James goes in game 1. Scott Service has to feel awfully good about that. Robbie calls time. And now Cotton wants to talk about it. The 2-2 is slash foul. Nearing 80 pitches now for Cotton.
Both starters having to throw a lot of pitches, a lot of foul balls today. A lot of deep counts for him.
Again, the 2-2. Davis in left field for round number 1. One out for Nelson Cruz. Last time up. Nelly doing some pretty serious damage, Mike.
One of the highlights for me today. You can hear it.
Just hearing that.
115 on the exit velocity for Nelson. His 25th home run. He now has 87 RBIs. That leads the American League. You know, one of my favorite coaches all time was Frank Howard, Hondo. A lot of people will remember him. He used to walk around and talk about hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and Hondo 6'6", 6'7".
Average size man.
Yeah, he could really hit some line drives in his career. He used to talk about hitting home runs. He said, hit it like a man, see if you can take out a row of seats. I think that qualifies.
I would say so.
Watch out up there.
2-0 to Cruz. Nelly got in a 3-1 count when he hit that home run. Working his way towards another. You saw the splits there. For whatever reason, this has not been the typical Nelson Cruz season against left-handed pitching.
Well, usually it's scary what he does against lefties.
Might there be another? Scorched once again. Watch out. Mount Davis right off the batter's eye. Multi-homer game. Nelson Cruz home runs and back-to-back at-bats. He is doing some serious damage to this ballpark.
We talked a little bit about it on the pregame. I was talking to Angie and Ryan Rowland Smith. When Nelson went through that stretch, it was about a month where he didn't hit a home run, and I was saying that he was still hitting the ball hard and picking up a lot of RBIs, and now he's starting to get some elevation on it. And both of these are line drives that he's hitting, and this one ricochets off the concrete wall out in center field. Brugman, the center fielder, able to pick it up, but another one that gets out in a hurry. That's now 26 RBI, or excuse me, 26 home runs and 88 RBIs on the year. Kyle with a home run in the first inning, a 3-run home run for Kyle, his 17th on the year. Out to right center field.
All the runs in this game, all 8 coming on homers. 2 solo shots for the A's. Nelson Cruz has that many home runs, 3 in total for the Mariners. Well, Nelly will have other opportunities here as we are playing in just the 5th. It's always amazed me. Kind of goes to show you how hard this is for a guy that has now over 300 home runs in his career. Nelson Cruz has never had a 3-homer game.
Is that right? I never knew that. I would have guessed that he would.
Oh, for sure, right?
A couple of them by now.
So maybe today is the day. Maybe by the 3rd time up, other pitchers are saying, you know, we're not going through this again.
Well, what did we just see? The 23rd time he's had at least 2 home runs in a game.
Softly into left field for Davis. 2 outs, both into left. 2 outs, nobody on. Well, Edgar Martinez's number will be retired this weekend, and as part of the celebration, we're giving away replica number 11 jerseys. Thanks to Alaska Airlines, it's free to the first 45,000 fans this Sunday afternoon. For tickets, just head to mariners.com.
Ben Gamble will step in. 1 for 2 for Ben. Had a couple of hits last night, including a double, 2 RBIs, so he's starting to heat up again. Average up to 306.
Over to first base and a fair ball. Cotton to the bag in time. And that is it for the Mariners here in the 5th. Well, Nelson Cruz, a couple of home runs, and combined, we're talking 886 feet of homers from Nelson Cruz. This one being the latest. Mariners lead it 6-2. this game by the Mariners. Take a look at our Columbia Bank difference of the game, and the home run that got all the scoring started. The swing by Kyle Seager.
Some run support for Gallardo in the first inning. You can see the changeup out over the plate. I think that was the third changeup in that at bat to Kyle as he hits it out to right center field. His 17th home run on the year, now 60 RBIs. Mariners were behind most of the game last night. Quickly ahead today and been able to add to it with a couple of home runs from Nelson Cruz.
Went too quickly on Joyce. Slapped the opposite way for a base hit. Joyce's second hit this afternoon. Take a look at our CenturyLink What's Next coming your way tomorrow. 7:10 our first pitch time to begin the 4-game series against the Angels. We'll be on the air at 6:30 here on Root Sports. James Paxton will toe the slab for the Mariners. He has just been simply electric, winning his last 7 starts, reigning American League Pitcher of the Month. Always a fun time when you get to sit next to Casey Candel for 9 innings. Here's Marcus Semien.
132 strikeouts for Paxton in 113 and a third.
You appear to be impressed by that, Mike.
I think it's a pretty good number. Emilio Pagan starting to get loose in the pen with that base hit by Lowry. Gallardo now at 91 pitches. 91 pitches, 53 strikes for him. There's Pagan.
Clubbed into left. Gamble, does he have a play? Wow. Makes the catch. Gamble takes down the fence and left, and he holds on. What a catch.
We've seen him dive. We've seen him crash into walls. The timing of this is just perfect. He goes back, finds the baseball, goes up as quickly and as high as he can. Almost not just straight up either, just dives into the wall. Able to brace himself a little bit by turning his back to it. Just a great athletic play and giving up his body.
And how does he hold on to it?
Wow. Yeah, because that was kind of in the heel of his glove. Terrific play.
Well, I hope Brian Cashman and the Yankees are enjoying the rookie level pitchers that the Mariners traded in exchange for Ben Gamble.
What a catch. That'll make everybody's highlight tonight.
And to left field for a base hit by about a foot. Joyce making his way into third base. He's getting waved in. Gamble's throw past Seager. Joyce crosses home. Third run of the day for the A's. The first that has not been a solo homer.
And just going the other way. We've seen this a lot from Lowry over the years. Veteran hitter. Just able to keep it fair down the line. A double for him. There you go. 33 doubles on the air, and Scott Service out of the dugout.
We will have a pitching change with 1 out, a run in, and Lowry at second base. Chris Davis is coming up. Mariners lead cut into. They lead it by 3. For the day, Mike, our 76 driving spirit, his final line.
Yeah, 4 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. A couple of walks, 3 strikeouts, 94 pitches, 55 of those for strikes, and he is responsible for the runner at second base and Lowry.
Our Beacon Plumbing call to the pen. Emilio Pagan inheriting a runner with 1 out.
For Pagan, good fastball at 94 miles an hour, slider, changeup. He has pitched well for the Mariners. 12 appearances, a 2.73 ERA, 26 strikeouts over 6 walks. Opponents hitting just 198 against him.
Not an easy way to start things off, facing the powerful right-handed bat of Chris Davis, who slugged his 31st home run earlier today. Homered last night as well.
I like that he decided to start him off with a slider. More importantly, throw it for a strike.
One and one.
I mentioned it last night. Casey Lawrence coming into the game. Pitched well, a couple of innings, and was able to hold the score down so that the Mariners could climb back into the ball game. Now they're looking for Pagan to do basically the same thing, give him a few innings, keep the score right where it's at, with the Mariners leading by 3. Oakland 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position.
Lowry, his 33rd double of the season, standing out at second base. The 1-2. Segura deep from shallow left field. Long throw in time for out number 2.
And a nice pick by Alonso at first base to help him out.
Keeps Lowry at second. Two outs, Lowry at second for Ryan Healy. Alonso getting his second straight start at first base. Close pitch ruled ball 1 to Healy. Over Pagan, right to Cano for out number 3. Now Lowry, the double left stranded, a run in for the A's. We've completed 5. Mariners have a 6-3 lead. Root Sports is brought to you by Safeco Insurance. Find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. A good look at Alcatraz. You know, Mike, the only thing I think of every time we see Alcatraz is I think, you know, that's still just too close. You know, it just
makes you nervous.
It's just too close. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would take too long on one of those to get back to the
maybe
to the mainland.
That's more your style right there.
Now we're talking.
There you go.
Dyson leads it off. Bottom third of the order due up here in the 6th. Nobody warming up inside the A's bullpen now at 93 pitches for Cotton. Davis bends to the knees, makes the catch for out number 1.
He's been over 100 pitches 3 times this year, as high as 107.
Faces Carlos Ruiz with 1 out and nobody on in the 6th. This has really been one of those games where the big bats in the order doing the things that you expect them to do as now the bullpen starts to stir. We saw Castro last night. We saw everyone last night out of the A's bullpen.
We did see everyone last night. It's really when you look at the second half of the season, just depending on the game and what is going on, but typically 3, 4, and 5 for the Mariners. Cano, Cruz, and Seager have been in the middle of their scoring. Kyle swung the bat well in the second half. Nelson, over the last 10 days, has hit 6 home runs. 13 RBIs over those 10 games, so he's been hot. Robbie with a couple of hits again today. He's scored 2 runs.
Strike 3 called. Right on the fringe. 2 outs. Mariners Care and Packard are hosting a book drive at Safeco Field next Tuesday to benefit the Page Ahead Children's Literacy Program. Fans are encouraged to bring new books or make a cash donation at the gates to help children in need succeed in school by developing strong reading skills.
Martin, a couple of hits last night, including the big home run in the 10th inning to give the Mariners the win. For his first hit today, and this is skied, going to be foul.
Simeon, the shortstop.
Fair ball, actually.
Just stays fair. Side sat down in order in the top of the 6th by Cotton. We go to the home half. To 3. No, want to win tickets to Edgar Martinez bobblehead night coming up on Friday? Text Edgar to 71532 and you could win 2 tickets in the commissioner's box plus your very own Edgar Martinez bobblehead.
Emilio Pagan taking over for Gallardo, able to get 2 quick outs, a couple of ground ball outs to get out of the 5th inning. Stay on, and Scott Service would probably like to get a couple more innings out of him.
We heard Scott say the other day that now with a slightly shorter bullpen, 7 men instead of 8, as Robbie gets some sunglasses from the bullpen. Scott saying he will plan to lean on his long guys a little bit more. We saw Lawrence last night. Chance here for Pagan.
And the good news, you have Paxton going tomorrow, and he certainly has given the guys a breakout in the pen, so probably leaning towards that also, relying on Paxton to get a little bit deeper in the game. Give those guys a break.
Really comes in on his knuckles, still 0-2.
Good fastball at 93 miles an hour. Typically be in that range, 93 to 95. Good slider and changeup.
You talk about Paxton going tomorrow, Mike. It makes me think. The other day, when I was thinking about, there was a certain situation the Mariners were in, and the game following the next day, it made me think, if you're Scott Service or any of the other 29 major league managers, you know, we hear all the time players and skippers too talking about taking things one day at a time and how important this game is as Olsen goes down swinging. But it got me thinking, if I was a big league manager, I think one of the biggest challenges I would have is always thinking about the next day, whether it be in this regard, as you mentioned, a chance to use your bullpen a little bit more because you got Paxton going, or when to give a guy a break because of whether it's a day game or lefty or a righty or all these other situations that I'm not even bringing up or thinking of right now. But with as much emphasis as there is on every day to be able to still keep your head above water and know what's coming up the next day and even the upcoming series.
I think one of the things that maybe helps and makes it a little bit easier, Aaron, is a lot of it is a tremendous amount of communication between Scott and his coaching, and probably even Jerry. Jerry's been, we've talked about it, really active. And all the pitching changes he's had to make, as far even just guys just going up and down and making moves and who's available and what they have. And they probably make those decisions before the game starts on what they're going to do, who they're going to use, how long they're going to go with the pitcher. I've said it in the first half of the season. You go back a couple of months ago when you have a lot of season left, there were times when Scott had to leave guys out there and the game gets a little bit ugly, a little bit sideways, but he had no choice because he has to save his bullpen, so that when you get to this point in the season, they can go out and they can pitch 5 shutout innings and get you a win, which is what we saw last night. So a lot of those decisions are either made early in the season or maybe even prior to the game, depending on conversations they have on who's available and what they have coming up and days off that are scheduled. There's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of it is determined before the game even starts. And you and I have talked about it. Some days, just because of the situation you're in, guys are just going to have to wear it. In other words, if you have 100 pitches, we're going to use all 100 pitches regardless of what happens with the score because we just have no choice anymore. Now, that being said, you have, what, 3 weeks and rosters will expand, and that'll certainly help the Mariners a lot as they try to hang in there, along with a lot of other clubs that are still in it. But you're not quite there yet. A good fastball in the outside corner.
One out, nobody on, bottom of the 6th. And the 3-2. Strike 3 call.
Pretty good slider, 3-2. After painting the fastball away, comes back with a slider.
Back-to-back strikeouts.
It's one of the things that Scott Service likes about the young man, his ability to throw this slider 3-2 count and get the strikeout, able to throw it for a strike.
Facing the catcher, Bruce Maxwell. Starts him off with strike 1. A little more routine this time around for Ben Gamble. And a spectacular catch crashing into the wall earlier. That was in the 5th. This catch ends the 6th. Mariners take the lead into the 7th here in Oakland. Give your kids a chance to feel like a big leaguer by bringing them to Run Around the Bases Day this Sunday. Following the Mariners-Angels game, youngsters can circle the diamond just like their favorite Mariners. So stop by Mariners.com for tickets. Part of a huge Edgar weekend. It begins tomorrow night with Paxton up on the mound in Game 1. New pitcher up on the mound in back of Jarrell Cotton. It is Simon Castro.
Castro pitched last night. All the relievers for the A's pitched in last night's ball game. So back-to-back days for Simon Castro at the top of the lineup. Segura going to lead things off. For Castro's fastball, 94 miles an hour, slider changeup to go with it. Segura 1 for 2. It's also walked, scored a run, stole a base. Having a good afternoon.
Dropping into center, Brugman a sliding catch.
Well, Segura hits this one right on the button. Solid line drive with some carry to it. That's the reason why Brugman was able to come make the sliding catch just before it hits the ground. Yonder Alonso stepping in 0 for 3 today.
On the first pitch with the shift on, Simeon gobbles it up. 2 outs.
Boy, the Mariners have hit the ball hard twice here in the inning. Nothing to show for it. See what Cano can do. He's having a good afternoon. 2 for 3, has scored 2 runs.
Robbie taking all the way, ball 1.
And a good count for him. Cruz has hit a couple of home runs. Seager has a home run, his 17th. How about Cano? All the guys in the middle of the lineup.
Just works itself foul. 2-1.
And back with a changeup.
Next home run for Cano will be his 20th. It will mark his 8th 20 home run season. He is in the upper echelon of middle infielders in that category. Look at active middle infielders with 20 home run seasons. He's tied with Tulowitzki, both with 7. The 2-2. Out to center. Brugman in front of the track. Makes the catch. Side sat down in order by Castro. It's time to stretch in Oakland.
today.
Leading off for the Athletics, center fielder, the 38.
Welcome back to Oakland, where the Mariners have the lead 6-3. Emilio Pagan on in relief. An inning and 2/3 for him so far. But he will pitch again here in the bottom of the 7th inning, staying on the game, trying to give the rest of the bullpen a little bit of a break. For the Mariners, scoring all 6 runs on home runs today. A 3-run home run by Seager. Nelson Cruz with a 2-run home run and then a solo home run.
Brugman on the first pitch to his counterpart at center. Out number 1. Talked to Scott Service a little bit about Pagan. We know that he obviously likes what Emilio has done. That has helped to increase Emilio's role a little bit in terms of where he was pitching in games from time to time. But you look at the swings and misses that he gets on his fastball, especially, we were talking earlier, fastballs at the top of the zone. That seems to be bread and butter for Pagan.
I think that you're right about that, and I think that they have a couple of pitchers like that. I think you can say the same thing for Nick Vincent. Nick Vincent at 89, 90 miles an hour could throw his fastball at the top of the zone, and a lot of late swings, a lot of swings and misses off of it, along with his cut fastball. So some deception with both of them, and the fastball just seems to get on you. Now Pagan throws a little bit harder. His fastball 93 to 95 miles an hour, but he also has the slider and changeup to go with it. Matt Joyce having a good day. 2 for 3, a home run, scored a couple of runs. Leadoff hitter for the A's this afternoon.
The 1-1 makes it 1-2.
Josh Smith, Ryan Dull both getting loose. A couple of right-handers in the A's bullpen.
Again out towards Dyson. Has this handled himself. 2 outs.
Well, it's another one of those things too. We talk about starters all the time saving the bullpen. There's times when Casey Lawrence and now Emilio Pagan, they can save the rest of the guys too. With Pagan going out there knowing that Paxton's going tomorrow. I think sometimes figure that Paxton's going to go at least 6 if not 7 innings.
Sure.
Possibly if everything goes well get him 8. But then you're talking about hopefully the back end of the bullpen because Paxton's going. So Emilio, I think if the score stays where it's at, or even if the Mariners can add on to it, he may go the rest of the way on this one.
Even if it's a quote-unquote safe try?
Well, or you look at it the other way. If Paxton's going to go deep, then maybe you feel that you can go with Vincent in the 8th and then have Diaz throw the 9th, knowing that Paxton's going to go tomorrow. Just depends on what Scott's looking at, how he feels about the game, and things are going overall. But right now, Pagan's really throwing the ball well. I just think with Felix going on the disabled list, Phelps not being here, you're going to have to be creative and look at different ways because you can't have the same guys pitching every night, obviously. And they've done such a great job up to this point.
Lined into left field, a base hit off the bat of Semien, his first hit today. Making the turn quickly, gets into second base standing. 2-out double, Marcus Semien.
And with that, the phone rings down in the bullpen. Tony Zick going to get loose.
And you've got Lowry at the plate here, and then Davis on deck. Ball 1.
Lowry with a double his last time up. He's down the left field line going the other way with it. Picked up an RBI.
Dyson comes charging in and is able to make the catch. All 3 outs to center field. Semien stranded at second. We are going to the 8th. Mariners lead it 6-3. Sports is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Come try the new Smoky Jack burger or chicken sandwich, limited time only. By BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. By Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. And by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. Well, sun's starting to come out a little bit here in the Bay. Mariners lead at 6-3 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. And a new pitcher up on the mound, Josh Smith, takes over for Oakland.
A little bit of everything for him. 23 appearances on the year, high ERA at 5.5, 21 strikeouts over 13 walks in 31 innings, giving up 3 home runs this year. Well, speaking of 3 home runs, Nelson Cruz looking for his 3rd. For Josh Smith, his fastball on average 91 miles an hour. Slider, cutter, curve, changeup.
Nelson a chance for his first ever 3-homer game. Has homered in each of his last 2 at-bats. The most recent 436 feet. The time before that 450. Behind 1-2.
Tony Zick still throwing in the Mariner pen, so it looks like he'll pitch the bottom of the 8th inning.
Big swing and miss that time from Cruz.
Tony did not pitch in last night's ball game.
1 out to begin the 8th. Here comes Kyle Seager, a home run back in the 1st. 3-run shot.
Kyle would like to add to that day. You see now 1 for 3 along with the home run, a ground out and a fly out.
First pitch in play. Lowry with the spin and shallow right. Out number 2.
We'll bring up Ben Gamble. Ben is 1 for 3. Base hit in the 1st. Also a fly out and a ground out.
And a ridiculous catch.
And the defensive play of the game.
Well, have to hear from Ben after the game, and not to say that that was a comfortable catch for Ben Gamble, but it did appear, at least from our vantage point way up here, that let's just call them the semi-permanent fence in left field looked like it maybe had a little bit more give to it than your average big league wall, as either that or Gamble just went running into it with such force that he bowed it back.
So you would have had no problem crashing into that.
That's what I'm saying, Mike. I prefaced it.
If you missed it, I'm sure you'll catch it on the highlights of the post-game show.
And we mentioned it at the time, but that ball was kind of in the heel of his glove and almost poke it out. So
that was the impressive thing to me. I mean, the timing of it, everything. Is such a good athlete, and we've seen him crash into walls and dive for the ball before. But the fact that he was able to hold on to it with the way he caught it in the heel of his glove was impressive.
Gamble a chance for back-to-back multi-hit games here. Works the count even 2-2. By the time Gamble's career is over with, or even before by the time the year is over with, we'll be able to have a pretty good highlight reel of Gamble crashing into things. I've seen it more than once this year. He keeps getting up.
We saw that from him last year. September made a number of plays.
Two outs, nobody on. Gamble's worked the count full. Pulled near the line to first base. Olsen handles it smoothly. Side sat down in order for the third straight inning to go to the bottom of the eighth. We make our way to the bottom of the eighth inning here in Oakland. Well, make your voice heard. Nominate your favorite plays of the week by tweeting us using the hashtag RootFanFave. Each month, one lucky fan will win a Coors Light mini fridge just for participating. For official rules, just check out rootsports.com. Now, Tony Zick up on the mound for the Mariners. He'll work the bottom of the eighth.
40 appearances on the year, a 5-2 record, a 2.23 ERA for Tony. 32 strikeouts with 36 in the third. Opponents hitting just .203 against him. Good sinking fastball at 95 miles an hour and a hard slider. You get the middle of the lineup, 4, 5, and 6. Davis, Healy, and Olsen due up.
Davis has only hit today a home run, a solo shot in the third. He's homered in back-to-back games. Starts him off with ball one. Now in both cases last night and then today, the Mariners bullpen having to carry the load a little bit. Last night working 5 scoreless, and today having to work in back of guard. 4 1/3 innings. 3 runs, 6 hits for Giovanni. But that start tomorrow night from James Paxton coming at just the right time. Routine hop right there to Segura. 1 out. That brings up Ryan Healy. Mariners will have Paxton going tomorrow night in game 1. That takes us up to Edgar Weekend at Safeco Field.
James looking for his 8th win in a row.
Yeah, you look at his month where he was the American League Pitcher of the Month in July. You can see inside the A's bullpen. Those 6 starts, of course, winning all 6 and deserving the win, to say the least, all 6 times out. Maybe the most impressive thing, and you can make an argument for which is most impressive, but he gave up only 4 extra base hits in those 6 games, and they were all doubles, and that was it.
Well, we talked about it earlier in today's game, especially this year, the way the ball is flying out of the ballpark for him. 113 innings now and just giving up just 5 home runs on the year. It's pretty amazing. He'll get the start tomorrow. The ground ball by Zick.
2 up, 2 down, both on the ground.
I mentioned it. I heard it this morning watching TV before we left to come over to the ballpark, and he was in the discussion for a Cy Young Award. You have Sale out there, obviously Kluber you mentioned earlier, but he's starting to work his way in there. He will go tomorrow against the Angels. It'll be a big series for the Mariners, 4 games. Paxton will start things off.
You know, entering this year, as he will pitch against the Angels tomorrow night, Paxton the only man to ever strike out Mike Trout 4 times in a game. Time called before Olsen can really dig in.
I did not realize that.
Never easy against Trout, but Paxton has had his number a little bit.
Wow. After a couple of ground outs, Mark Zepchinski going to start to get loose in the pen, left-hander for the Mariners.
One and one. There's Mark. One ball and 2 strikes.
Did you have it all the way?
Just trying to save the electronics, Mike. Just trying to save them.
That was straight back at us and hit right in front. Probably missed by what, a foot getting in here?
I don't know. It's tough to tell from under the counter.
I laugh at you as I was moving behind you.
Check swing. It goes around.
Nice inning.
Zick out of the bullpen in the 8th. 1, 2, 3. Carves up the A's. We're up to the 9th. Thank you, Angie. Ryan. Dyson leads off the ninth for the Mariners. Looks at ball one. By the way, looking up those numbers during the break, lifetime Paxton versus Trout, which we will see on display tomorrow night from Safeco Field. Half of the 22 at-bats for Trout against Paxton ending in a strikeout, and 3 for 22 lifetime against James. As Joyce has to pick this one up in right field. It's away from the crowd. Or from the bullpen. As Edwin Diaz starts to warm up. The A's pitching has really leveled out and been retiring the Mariners. They've not had a base runner since Nelson Cruz hit his home run in the 5th. 11 in a row sat down by A's pitching until Dyson reaches here.
And as we've seen, the Mariners have been aggressive in the 2 games against the A's, running quite a bit. So I would expect Dyson to try to steal.
Now batting.
Ruiz stepping in.
Carlos Ruiz.
Diaz was getting loose in a hurry in the pen, and he seems to be slowing down his pace now that Dyson has reached.
He probably knows there'll be a throw or two over to first base.
Well, they may score a run right here too, so doesn't want to get completely cranked up in the bullpen. Looks like Pazos is also going to get loose in the pen. Hard throwing left-hander for the Mariners. And I don't blame Diaz. When you look at the Mariners, played 24 games. They've won 15 since the break. Diaz has saved 11 of them,
including last night. Dyson now at 27 steals. That's the most since 2014 for the Mariners, when James Jones stole 27. His next bag, which could be coming shortly, will be the most since Ichiro swiped 40 back in 2011. Speaking of James Jones, converted to a pitcher, by the way, and unfortunately having to go through Tommy John surgery. He's missed this year. I know that he was a pitcher in college as well, a two-way guy. Chop off the plate. Ruiz out at first base. Chapman having to cover some ground at third to pick that one out of the grass, but he does.
And with that, Dyson will move up into scoring position. So Martin, who's looking for his first base hit of the ball game, get a chance to drive in a run. Nobody getting loose in the A's bullpen.
On the first pitch, swatted into right field. Joyce, a little bit of a hop, makes the catch for round number 2.
Mariners now 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position this afternoon as Segura will walk to the plate. He's 1 for 3, stolen bases, scored a run.
Going after the first pitch. Over towards the Mariners bullpen. How about that catch?
Backhanded play. No problem. Easy play for him.
Even Ben Gamble thinks that's a good catch. Keeping an eye on Dyson. Joyce tracking this in right field. Now number 3. Dyson stranded. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Edwin Diaz a chance to close it out. Mariners lead it by 3. Two-game sweep here in the Bay over the Oakland Athletics. 6-3 our score. Bottom third of the order due up for the A's. And they will have to face Edwin Diaz.
And for Diaz, 48 appearances on the year, 24 saves, and 11 of them here in the second half. A 2.96 ERA, 67 strikeouts with 48 2/3. Great number for him. Opponents hitting just 189. In his fastball, mid to upper 90s. At times he will touch 100, and a hard slider.
In pretty good company here today. Diaz looking for the save in back-to-back games. As we start the bottom of the 9th. Chapman has struck out twice today, is also singled. Let's see, inside with 98. The 2-0. Take something off a strike at 96. Martin out of room. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Now the 2-2. Strike three called. Steers him at 98. Diaz battling back after falling behind originally 2-0.
Well, not much of a chance for a hitter. You take a look at this fastball, a little bit of run to it, but 98 right on the outside corner. There's nothing you're going to do with that pitch.
Swinging strike one to Maxwell.
.99 on that fastball. Feels pretty good this afternoon.
I saw you last night, Mike. The slider was throwing that pitch a lot. There was a little bit of a talk on the mound with Diaz. Went right to his heater. We've seen nothing but heat so far here today.
Yeah, it's a little bit different when you have a 3-run lead. He's going to be more aggressive with his fastball. Last night it was more of a command issue, I think, with his fastball. Went to a slider a little bit more than what you would expect, but a quick visit from Mel Stottlemyre Jr. and all of a sudden back to his fastball, and he was able to put the game away. Topped out at 99 last night.
The 1-2. Full count. Jacob Brugman, the number 9 hitter, on deck. The 3-2 from Diaz.
Well, 11 pitches, 5 strikes from him so far. Again, he's topped out at 99.
A strikeout and a walk. Nearing the track, nearing the wall, has just enough room for out number 2. Two outs. Maxwell back to first base.
A little more carry on it than he expected. Sure, he knew just how close he was to the wall. He slammed into the wall pretty good. Take a look at it. Brugman puts a good swing on it. Towering fly ball out to right. You can see Leona's starting to drift on it, makes the catch and just slams right into the wall. A little bit of a breeze blowing out that way. I think fooled him a little bit. But a good catch, good concentration to hold on to it.
2 outs, a man aboard, facing Joyce now. Foul towards left field. Gamble, charge it over. Can't get there. Needs a parachute to slow down. Well, that would have been fitting if Gamble had been able to make that catch after what he's done defensively today. Maxwell at first base after the 1-out walk. 0-2. First slider today from Diaz. Doubles up on it, a ball and 2 strikes. That's your game. Diaz finishes off Joyce, and when the Mariners win it, they sweep these 2 games, and Mike, they win 6 out of 9 games on the trip.
Yeah, great road trip, 6-3 on the trip. The Mariners came into here and really swung the bats well today. It was the home run. Nelson Cruz, who you see right there, a couple of home runs for him, and he ends up driving in 3. Kyle Seager with the big hit in the first inning. You looked at it, wanted the Mariners to get off to a fast start. He ends up hitting his 17th home run, drives in 3 runs, a 3-run home run for Kyle. And then what can you say about the bullpen? 2 days in a row, back-to-back days for the bullpen where they were just terrific, including Diaz getting saves in back-to-back games. Now 12 saves since the All-Star break.
And look, 5 scoreless innings last night from the bullpen. Today, 4 2/3. They have been fantastic, especially here in Oakland. Mariners postgame presented by Alaska Airlines starts right now. Angie, take it away.